Hi everyone, it's Nikki. So I'm turning 35 this month and I just had some advice that I'd like to share with everyone. You can take it or leave it, but I just hope that you'll think about this and consider it. So, when I look back to about like 10 plus years ago or so, when I was unemployed and looking for a job, and I was out of school at the time, so I wasn't working and I wasn't in school, I was just looking for a job. Um, I look back at that and I really feel like I didn't make the most of that free time that I had while I had it. Because obviously, being unemployed and not being in school, I just had a lot more free time even while I was looking for a job. It didn't take me I wasn't spending 40 hours a week looking for a job, so I just had a lot more time and I feel like I didn't use that time wisely. Now, the reason for that, I'm not saying that I need to use it in a productive way, but I feel like when I look back on it, the reason I didn't use the time wisely was because I felt guilty for having it. Because I'm not talking about, that I wish that I had used it in a productive way to like do, school or work related things, but it's weird when I look back on it and think to myself that when I had that free time, when I had like my entire days open during the whole week, I didn't use that time to do more things that I loved. I didn't spend more time with my friends. I didn't go out and do more fun things that I love to do. I wasn't spending more time going out dancing at night or going jumping or going swimming or anything like that. In fact, I do much more of that stuff now that I have a full time job than I did back when I was unemployed and when I actually had a lot more time to do all of that. And the reason why I just didn't really use that time wisely in terms of spending more time doing the things that I enjoyed is that it's not because I was lazy. It's not because I wanted to just lie around the house all day. It's not because I wanted to just do nothing. It's because I felt guilty. I felt guilty about the fact that I had that time and that I was unemployed, and I felt like I wasn't entitled to that time even though I had it. I just felt like if I was out doing something in the middle of the week or something like that, that people were going to judge me. They'd be like, "Well, what are you doing here in the middle of the day when it's a work day? Like, what are you doing here?" And I mean, that seems silly now because I have flex time right now. So sometimes I am out in the middle of the day, Monday through Friday. And even when I had a job without flex time, I took vacation days and stuff. So it's not like that never happens. But I just felt guilty, like, people would be looking at me like, "What's wrong with you that you don't have a job?" Like, they'd all be able to look at me and know that, and, I also felt really uncomfortable in terms of spending time with friends. I felt really uncomfortable saying to anyone that, "I can meet you anytime. Any day of the week, Monday through Friday, I can meet you during the day," and, like, not having any kind of work schedule to work around. I really, felt like I couldn't say that, and I would not say that I made any kind of use of the fact that I had that extra time. I feel like I was still, only getting together with people on weekends, not because of their schedules, but because I tried to make it seem like that was the only time I was available. I tried to make it seem like I was only available during the normal hours that someone would have free when you have a 9 to 5 Monday through Friday job. And even in terms of personal things that didn't involve getting together with people, like, I did not use that time to write more, to blog more. I did use it a little bit with some of my personal writing, but in terms of what I was blogging, what I was putting out there for other people to see, I was actually doing less of that back when I was unemployed, and specifically because I was just afraid of getting judgment, of people seeing like, "Gee, you have time to do all this, like, why haven't you found a job yet?" That sort of thing. And I just as the thing is, as soon as I got a job, I regretted that I didn't use the free time that I had wisely. I suddenly was like, what was I doing feeling guilty? What was I doing sitting in the house all day feeling guilty and doing nothing when I could have used that time to be out there doing other things that I want to do? That's how I felt. Like the minute I had a job, I just instantly regretted. I was like, why was I not out there every single day having fun and doing more of the things that I enjoyed? And it really bothered me that I let the guilt get in my way. And I would just urge you to never let guilt get in your way. Do not let guilt, do not let a feeling of not being entitled to what you have stop you from doing what you want to do, because that's what I feel like I did back then. And I didn't even learn my lesson back then, because the first job that I got in my profession, after having been unemployed for a while, was actually a part-time job. It was only 20 hours a week. It was all day Tuesday, all day Wednesday, and then part of the day on Thursday, like a half day Thursday, and that was it. I had Monday and Friday completely off, so only a 3-day week, and one of the days was partial. Now, when I got that job, it did take a lot of energy out of me for the days I was there, and I did instantly have this feeling of, why did I not make better use of the time I had when I didn't have any job? But at the same time, I still hadn't really learned my lesson about that, because I did the same thing. Even though this was a part time job, half time, I treated it like it was full time, in the sense that I never really made use of all the free time I had on Monday and Friday. Like over the weekend, like Saturday and Sunday, I would go out and have fun like everybody else, but I would never use the time that I had during the day on Monday and Friday to actually go out and have any fun and do anything that I really enjoyed, because again, I felt guilty and I felt like I had to sort of keep up this facade. Like I actually didn't tell my friends that the job was part-time. I allowed them to, I didn't actually lie about it, but I didn't tell the truth either. I just sort of allowed them to assume that it was full-time. And specifically, I would always ask people to get together on the weekend. Like, I would never say that I could do something on Monday or Friday, even if they could, even if like they had the day off or something. I just didn't want to reveal the fact that I had those days off too. And again, once I moved on from that temp job and I got a full-time job where I was working full-time Monday through Friday, I instantly regretted that. I was like, why did I not do something with my time on Monday and Friday when I had Monday and Friday? Why did I do this? And it's just sort of a life lesson that I want to take with me, because I say to myself, this was entirely based on guilt. I mean, well, I shouldn't say 100% entirely, because I did have some other things going on there than like mental health wise. And that's part of the reason that I'm just like able to do more now. But a large part of it had to do with guilt. A large part of it had to do with feeling unentitled to that time, feeling like I'm not supposed to have all of this free time. So therefore, I can't use it the way I want. I can't use it to do things that I want to do. So I'm just going to like hide in the house and not do anything, so that nobody can really tell that I have the time. And that was just a big mistake, and I just wanted to advise people that, like, do not let guilt get in your way. Like, do not ever refrain from doing what you want to do because you feel guilty about it, because you feel like you're not entitled to do it, like you're not entitled to have whatever it is you have. You know what I mean? Just really think about that. And like, if you are in a position like that, and it doesn't just have to do with unemployment, it's anything, you know what I mean? Because I know it's not everyone who would like be in a state where you even could have fun back then. I mean, if I suddenly lost my job now, I'd be really worried and stressed. Like, it's not the same as, this was like back when I was like early 20s. I lived with my parents and everything. But just in general, it doesn't have to be about work, but just in general, just don't let guilt stand in your way of anything that you want to do, because I certainly look back and I'm like, when I think about the choices that I made that were based on guilt, that were like, I didn't do this because I felt like I would feel too guilty to do it. Those are the choices that I wish I hadn't made. I can't really think of anything based on guilt where I would say, yeah, I'm glad that I did that thing because I would have felt guilty otherwise. You know, guilt just isn't, it's not an emotion that I want to use to make decisions. And I would just encourage you to just think about that and think about, do you really want to do anything based on guilt?